3, 2, 1. Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Slash Chat Podcast. Almir Miele here, and we have our lovely hosts. Lovely. And I'm going to pet them this time and not,
Sorry we're late, people.
Yeah.
Don't claw our heads off.
It's my fault. It's 100% my fault. I was doing something epic.
I'm just sleeping.
Well, doing something epic like
Sleeping?
last night, and then I slept in and was just like, meh. I was reading Skin Game, which was the new book by Jim Butcher. So it was like book 15, I think it is, in the Dresden Files. Yeah, I got like maybe quite a bit through the book, actually.
How far'd you get, out of curiosity?
Chapter 15.
No bad.
It's like
Out of
25%.
Cool.
I was gonna go more, but then I was just like, I went to bed at like 6 a.m. It's already like 8. But so without further ado, we will give you the Slash Chat test. We'll start with Alex, as always. Tell us who you are, what you've been up to.
I'm Alex, and I don't know, it's been a rather busy week, I guess. It's just been thinking about a lot of stuff. I've been working at my part-time job, takes up more time than they said it would, but I'm getting paid, so which is good because I need my monies. I have been playing a few of the games. Played this game called Into the Dark Ultimate Trash Edition, and that was a review for the website Hardcore Gamer Magazine. I'm like, all I can say is you need to read this review because I had a lot to say about this game. More than I wanted to. It's just, it's one of these games where you're just like, there's so much that you have to say. So I did. Other than that, haven't played too many other games. I dived back into Arkham Asylum again. And I played Psychonauts again, and I love Psychonauts a lot. It's just a very funny game. It's all the humor is just spot on. There's so many good quotes in that, and I picked that up on a Humble Bundle a long time ago on it because I played it on PlayStation 2 and Xbox, and then I played it. I'm like, oh, it's a Humble Bundle. I really like this game, so I played it, and I played it again, and I'm like, this is still such an enjoyable game. Other than that, haven't been making too many videos lately because I'm holding out. Oh god, that's thunder outside. I hear thunder, but there's no rain.
Lightning. I saw light.
Yeah, I hear thunder, but there's no rain. This kind of thunder breaks walls and window panes.
Yeah, usually.
I love the Prodigy; they're so good. But I'm hoping that my next paycheck will, because I've been getting a lot of hours, so I'm hoping that if I have a high enough paycheck, I'll actually be able to buy this external hard drive from Best Buy that I've been wanting to get, because after I got all these Humble Bundles are giving me PC versions of games I already have. Like, I already own like the Orange Box, and I know you can get Half-Life 2 on Steam really cheap, usually the better version. Sonic Generations, Borderlands 2 I now have on PC, and I'm like, I don't need all these discs. So I went to Best Buy and traded them in, and apparently I got like $50 for all the games I got. Which is good, because then I can use that to buy the external hard drive, and once I get the external hard drive, I can go crazy with the videos, because I'll have all the space I'll need. I got like a Nuzlocke run planned, and I can actually have space for the videos. So the videos are probably going to get better around next week, and I'm probably going to get more of those out. Other than that, it's just... I made that dumb drawing that I'm on YouTube
It
and
was
I
good.
see
It's
Kat's
good.
channel and I'm like, oh, she put up a new video. That's weird. And I'm like, wait a second. What happened to the podcast thumbnail? That's not the regular podcast thumbnail. That's not the regular podcast thumbnail. And then I'm like, God damn it, she did it. Now this thing's representing, and I'm like, son of a... Oh, I could have drawn. Okay. Jeremy, you were the hardest to draw because I only see your head.
Head.
Like I'm judging everything. But I tried to just make sure, give every character something that they like. Like David got his water world.
So does
Yeah.
this mean Jeremy's a talking head?
What? That would have been funny, actually.
I was gonna say, he's a talking head.
Nah, but a talking head can't mine in Minecraft, so I gave him a pickaxe.
I'll be
I know it's
completely
kind-
honest. The
What?
reason I have my camera positioned the way I do is because it reminds me of playing StarCraft.
and the thing with Kat is it's hard to see, but I tried to put like a hidden blade on her left arm because I know she loves Assassin's Creed hardcore. And for me, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'll just give myself the decapitated head of a Chow because
Chow.
that seems to be the longest running
Dead
joke.
Chow.
Hey, he's an asshole. Actually, he probably wasn't, but
Grim says she picked your picture over mine. Rar rar.
that reminds me of the other thing that everyone saw. I love the Gamer Cat. It's this new little webcomic I've seen by I forgot who made it. It's this really talented lady artist. And the Gamer Cat is just like this guy and his cat loves video games, but you know, it's kind of like the whole Garfield thing, like the cat can't communicate with the human, but the cat can play video games. So over this little arc, he found this little orphan cat named Glitch, and then they found this big fat cat, like a grumpy cat. Well, not actually, Grumpy Cat was in the comic for a while, but this big orange cat named Sweet, I think his name is. So they need a fourth player, and they've been interviewing all these other cats, like Nyan Cat is just eating all of these Pop-Tarts during the interview. Ceiling Cat, Lawn Cat, the cat with the bread around its face, and cats from Zero Wing. So you see like the Zero Wing guy, and it says all your base are, and then Gamer Cat's like, no. So in this newest comic, they're just like, oh my god, we need to find a player 4. We need a fourth player. So the Gamer Cat is looking around and he sees this girl cat at the game store, and he's like, you know, she's probably getting a girl game like Barbie or something, and she picks up an Assassin's Creed game with the Assassin's Creed logo, and then you just see him around the corner and he's got the little blush lines and he's like, oh shit. And I saw that and I'm like, god damn it, that is so fucking perfect.
Except for I don't really like pink.
I know you don't like pink, but that's the one, but that's the only thing that doesn't work there. Everything
Yeah.
else is like, oh my god, that's creepy.
That's true. It's true.
It's like they know. Because like the fact that, you know, the hair color is a little bit of a brown. I mean, like Assassin's Creed, and the fact that it's a cat. So I'm like,
It works.
That's creepy. I mean, that works too well. But I love that webcomic.
David, your camera froze.
It's just like all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start
Like-
pulling weird stills and see what
It looks
happens.
like you're in like this little shack in the middle of nowhere.
You really?
Just like,
I wish I could pull it up. I can't because it's not. It's just like icon.
fucking wonder. That's what I've been
It
doing.
detects me
making
whenever there's some significant movement and then starts the camera again, but it's freezing up. It's too old. It needs to be replaced.
Also, you
Oh,
know,
poor
I
David.
still don't know why the picture's on the thumbnail. Why is that?
Because it was
I
a
had no
good
say
picture.
in this. I had no say in this. I think it turned out okay. I suck at digital coloring though. Next.
Hi, there's Cardinal for like 2 seconds.
Camera turns on and off. I appear to be broadcasting from, you know, the wintry Arctic at this time.
You
Yeah,
are.
there's a little shack in the middle of the Arctic, and you just got a hole in the ice, and
cold.
ice fish there.
No wonder
have
your
your clicker.
camera's not working.
You have your
Yeah, I'm
ice
so
fishing
far
pole,
away right now,
and then you
I'm
just
like-
have your computer.
I'm so far away, even further than normal. So there you go. My week kind of sucked, but I won't get into it. There's been some good stuff too. I did a couple streams this week. Most recently was today, or I guess technically yesterday, because it's like 4 a.m. for me now. So that was interesting. Almiro popped in for a few minutes and talked to a few other people. Probably made a complete ass myself. That happens.
You sang beautifully.
I was kind of bored. I was like, nobody's talking to me. I'm gonna start singing along to these songs. Still here. What else did I do this week? Lots of job interviews again. I got more of them on technically tomorrow, but whatever. I have 3 of them in one day, so that'll be interesting. As for gaming-wise, lots of Minecraft. Been sort of adminning the server for my friends, getting shit to work there, stuff not working, fixing that. Yeah, pain in the ass. But it works now, so everything's good. Yeah, not too much else on this side. I got a new mug.
We're not
which
gonna be
you might
able to
appreciate
see
the
it.
logo. It'll freeze. There you go.
Wait, no, it didn't freeze for us.
Oh, it did for me. It's just like my
Aw.
camera's frozen on my side. I'd be holding a mug there. It's the Elder Scrolls Online mug. Nice gold
Nice.
emblems with black mug. Yeah, it's good. For me, on my side, all I see is a frozen image of a mug in front of my face. But yes, that was my week. How about
Nice.
you guys?
Jeremy,
Oh, let's see.
your allergies look like they're going nuts right now.
They are. Just one time flat. It looks like it's raining. I'm actually gonna have to head off early today because I'm gonna have to take Benadryl and try and get my stuff under control before I go to work. Finished several projects at the gym. Spent a lot of time on ESO. Spent a lot of time yelling at people on forums for being whiny MMO players. Oh my gosh, they changed one thing. My life is over. Unsub. I can't play my game 24
Oh my
hours a
God.
day every single day of the week. Unsub. I'm like,
The word
Guys, it's
unsub is just a dick word.
It is.
yeah,
It
it has become synonymous with, I don't have everything exactly the way I want it. I'm going to whine and complain and threaten to not give you money until you do exactly what I want.
Yeah,
So,
but then they eventually just get over it, and they just completely forget how completely immature they were acting the first time.
yeah. Playing around with the new Dresden Files alpha thing I mentioned a while ago. Actually filling out surveys right now on how things went in different pieces of feedback. And I too got bitten by the skin game bug last night, though I think I only got up to about chapter 12 or so before I finally passed out. See if I really-
Passing out to read a book. That's good.
Yeah.
Haven't done that in a
It's
long
one of my
time.
favorite ways to relax.
Read until we can't read no more.
Mm-hmm.
I approve.
Other
I
than
give a
that,
thumbs up, but they probably freeze off.
that was probably, that's been about it for this week. It's been kind of quiet. Yeah, mostly just trying to figure out how to help out with this alpha testing of this of action roleplay. That's about it for me.
So
Awesome.
obviously I'm in a different-esque location of my room right now. I spent pretty much Sunday, like, just moving everything. The only thing that didn't work was the fact that I still have an entire pile of stuff over there, which was from the rest of the room. However, from that pile on, it looks pretty clean. So, I'm gonna conveniently place myself sort of where the stuff is. Okay, that's not working right now. Oh well. So this week was actually not much ESO. A lot because we had like Memorial Day, and for Memorial Day, did the Dresden Files beta test. There's actually a video of it on, not of the test itself, but like of me recapping a lot of the awesome things that happened on YouTube. One of the best things ever, though, was casting electricity, a lightning spell into a pool of water. Awesome. Just awesome. And then we had to, like, Indiana Jones run out of the cavern, because I decided that I was going to be that douche who threw a fire electric spell-esque thing up at the ceiling, made it explode, and then, like, cracked the ceiling and start bringing it down. Don't trust wizards. Grim, I did not paint my radiator. The room was already pink before I got here, because if not, I would have just switched it a whole different color, because grr, you guys, grr.
That can't be safe, painting the radiator when it heats up, when it heat up the paint. Make it all flaky and fumy and such. Isn't that, like, bad?
Paints.
I don't think so. I don't really think so. I haven't had a problem
well,
with
you
it.
know.
House hasn't burnt down yet. So, let's see. Other than Dresden Files, which, like I said, reading the book, that's why I was, like, so late to podcast, because I was just, like, in bed going, why? Why do I have to get up? And then I'm like, but you have a podcast. 20 more minutes. So, I'm like, damn it. But Jim Butcher is awesome, so I can't really say too much. Let's see. I think that was mainly just like everything. Start watching a little bit more anime, which was decent. I've been watching the Irregular at the Magic High School, I think it's called, and it's not too bad. A couple people that I know are getting into Attack on Titan, which yes. But yeah, it's pretty much it. I think we've all pretty much had just like a meh week. So we're gonna actually dive right into our first question, seeing that Teal'gar actually has to leave early. We're gonna try and see how many questions we can get before he just gives in the towel. So I really don't like my crap pile over there.
Just throw a blanket over it, it's fine.
That is just like giant blanket. I really should have cleaned it up before like I start streaming, but oh well. Okay, so first question of today.
David, why are you streaming something that she's already streaming?
Because I hit my 50 follower account and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna start streaming this. Plus, you know, been doing it for a while. Meh. Mine's just very basic though. I don't have any layout for things. Oh god, yeah. But because I can't be asked to record it, so I'm like, eh. There we go.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're
Question time.
Question.
What is your favorite D&D or RP character that you've created? So it could be just in general, like a tabletop game. It could be like D&D specifically. It could be like a character concept that you had for a video game. It could be Skyrim character, because I know that we're going to try and do it as broad as a spectrum, but you had to have created the character and give it some thought and some personality. And
This is now my most favorite question ever. So far, I mean. My favorite D&D character was one I made for a just kick in the door campaign my friend was running. I was turned up as a wizard, as I normally do, but you know, I'm not your normal standard wizard. He was called Roryukan. He specialized in like fire magic and teleporting around. So everything he had was either him teleporting around or slinging fireballs or whatever. And first encounter we get into, like, siege tower rocks up. I teleport through a little slit in the front of it. End up hitting the floor with my sword, which enchanted to whenever they hit anything at all, they burst out, just firing a fireball on the ground. So just going bam, everyone inside the tower dead. Next. Best character I ever made. It's most fun. Very much so. It was designed just to kick ass. and it worked. Next.
Jeremy.
So is it just
Kick that
D&D
ass.
characters?
No, it's the, like whatever character you've created, whether it's Skyrim, anything, literally anything.
Mm. There's been so many hilarious characters, though. There was Arg the Destroyer, which was a Warforged construct. It was one of the Warforged Chargers. And then people kept giving me items that increased my size by a category, so eventually I was just like a Mecha King Kong. But he had the personality of Gur from Invader Zim.
Grrr.
So that made for all kinds of hilariousness. Then there was like Groth Ravenstorm. That was a character from a vampire LARP that I did, and just the hilariousness he got into because a Malkavian villain decided to give him delusions because the storyteller thought it'd be funny to have a little joke at my expense, and I just took it and ran with it, and so Groth became convinced that he was becoming one of the Nordic deities, and just kind of ran away with the whole plot of the game, much to the chagrin of the storyteller and several of the other players, but everyone had a good time with that.
One word, more tax.
Yeah, that was just overly broken, though, because back in Shadowrun version 1, they didn't quite have rules for certain things, like vampires who could cast magic spells, and in Shadowrun, whenever you cast magic, you have to soak Drain to keep from passing out. And
Wow.
back in version 1 of Shadowrun, vampires could regenerate Drain, so I could cast the most powerful spell I wanted to over and over again and never worry about the consequences. So,
Nice.
Yeah, that was from Raytog, by the way.
It was a good question. I liked it. But Alex hasn't answered yet.
No, I meant the whole more tax thing, because Raytog and Jeremy have game together. And so Raytog was like, mention that to him, he'll know. And I was like, will do. So Alex, what has been your favorite crafted character?
As far as RPGs go, that would probably just be my Skyrim character. I mean, it is nothing too special. I mean, he typical one-handed stuff. I like the ebony armor; it looks awesome. And maybe it's the fact that I've been with this character for like hundreds of hours. And I'm thinking he's just close to my heart because now I'm like my one-handed is so good. I don't want to legendary it, so I'm working on making up in the magic, up in the archery, just because you want to keep this going. And if I legendary my one-handed, then it resets, and then I'm going to be dead. Everyone will just murder me because my best stat will be reset to like 15 or something.
Oh yeah.
Now there is another character. It's not necessarily an RPG, but it is one that I created. It's in Saints Row 4, and you can create your own character at the beginning, and then as the game continues, since you're in the simulation, you can go to stores and get new clothes. You can get like plastic surgery, so you can completely change your character. It does cost money, but I have so much money in that game it doesn't even matter. So at first my character was like this guy, and he had like cloud strife hair, but it was blue, like a teal blue.
Interesting.
And he would. I think I gave him like an aviator jacket because I'm just like, I can't find anything good to wear, so I'll wear this awesome aviator jacket. And then I'm like, I get really close to the end of the game, and I'm like,
did he have a gender change?
I like to keep my mind to myself and not have people invade it. So to answer her question, which she clearly understood what I was doing, I'm like, fine. So I did that. And the weird thing about that is that even when you change yourself in the game, because it's like the Matrix, when you jack out of it, your character stays the same as it was in the game. So in the real world, this went from a guy to a girl, and no one seems to notice that. And I don't understand why, it's. I know that they're trying to say this is your character, but at the same time, I'm like, that makes no sense. It's like
That would just be if I like showed up to podcasts and suddenly I had like this giant manly beard that was attached. Like I was just like, dude,
I do that.
But
I wanted a cotton ball beard.
this female character kept the cloud strife hair, but I think I made it like bright fluorescent red. She's wearing like a t-shirt, jeans, and like at first it was bare feet, but then I gave her flip flops or something. And I'm not a frickin' pervert. I didn't do that. I didn't you can change what they call the sex appeal of your character.
Sex appeal.
I am not a frickin'. I didn't do that.
I would have.
I did.
Because the sex appeal with a male, when you increase it, his package gets larger. And with the woman, it's equivalent, only it's on top. And there was one thing I did, and I'm like, I don't even know why I did this, but it was actually pretty funny, all things considered. You can give them different voices, and the male, one of the choices is literally Nolan North. It's called Nolan North, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. So for the female, I gave like your typical female voice, but then I raised the pitch as far as it could go.
Oh jeez.
So like she's talking with all these characters, and you can't even understand her because her voice is so high. And eventually I'm like, fine, I'll make it down a little bit. So now I understand what she's saying, but she still sounds like she could kill dogs just by talking. And make their eardrums explode. And I love Saints Row 4 because it's just, you can just do whatever. You don't feel restricted. Yeah. That's why it's better than Grand Theft Auto. And I will always say that.
And that's really I'm gonna jump across the city.
Now the thing with that is that there wasn't really any RPG elements, like you can't increase certain stats or anything. So as far as just creating a character's appearance, that was probably the best. But my Skyrim character, as far as developing skills, that is the one that I'd say is the best RPG creating character. Just because when you work with the skills, you feel like you're more in command of the game itself, and that's probably why I think that. We should get plastic surgery in Skyrim. That would be cool.
There is a plastic surgeon in Skyrim.
Yeah, it's called a face sculptor, yeah.
You're right.
I was about to like pick for another topic and then realized I was like, I never even said mine.
What is yours?
My favorite character that I have made has actually been one of my first D&D characters. And her name was Ignazia Drottengru. And she was a bard. And bards in 3.5 edition are like a rogue and a wizard like put together. So that they can do multiple things, but they're not really that great at one thing. So in the character development, I was like, I want one thing that kind of sets her apart. And I talked to the DM, was like, look, I was like, what can we do to like kind of give her some like flavor text? I had Pepsi come out my nose. Just the carbonation. He's like, well, pick what weapons you want. He's like, we'll look at something what we can tweak when you're done making the character. So I'm going through like the weapons and stuff like that, and I'm like, I want to be Indiana Jones. And he's like, what? Why? And I'm like, I want to be Indiana Jones. I was like, give me the hat, give me the whip. I want to be Indiana. And so he like was just like, look, I'll give you the whip because it's in the book. I can't give you the hat because it's not time appropriate. And I'm like, fine. So we're like coming up with all these abilities and skills and stuff like that I can use with my whip that weren't like in the books. And so like halfway through, like my character is using it as like Spider-Man's arm. So like whatcha, and then like fly across like a roof or something like that. Using it a lot for tripping people. So like at one point we were chasing down the pink bard which was hilarious because like it was Bard versus Bard for a little bit. And the pink Bard was all dressed in pink, and he would like throw down these pink smoke bombs. And
Well, no wonder you hated
I
him.
do.
No wonder you
Oh,
wanted
the
to go
pink.
after this pink bar.
The pink Bard. So he's at one point like going across the rooftop, and I'm just like climbing up to the edge of the roof. And I'm like, how far is he away? And he's like, oh, he's only like 10 feet away. He's at the very top of the peak of the roof. And I'm like, I whip his legs out from underneath of him. And he's like, you do realize that if you do that, you could possibly fall off the ledge. Because he's like, you don't have a strength check to hold yourself up and to whip him off the ledge. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I like climb myself up, and he's now like 10 more feet away, so he's like 20 feet away. And I start like running across the roof. So as soon as I whip his leg, like I horribly botched it. Ended up hitting my own leg. So then like my legs are like with my own freaking whip, and I start tumbling down the freaking steeple of the house. I'm like, oh dear God. Like why couldn't So like I apparently like hit like this like ledge, and I like stayed because like I rolled a 1, but I didn't roll another one, so I kind of rolled like an 18 or something like that, which meant that I didn't really have to fall to my death, but it had to let him get away. And then later on, it was just like I was swinging off of a chandelier in the middle of this weird cavern. I mean, I did some hilarious things with this whip. And it was just like my best character ever because it was so diverse that like I did this. Like I can manipulate the game in a way that is still rules and still like following everything. But at the same time, I have that freedom of like, okay, well I get the concept of what the whip does. Like it does non-lethal damage. And then I was like, I can trip people, I can disarm people. Like, think of now creative ways to put that. So, like, that's what I did. Like, the entire game was thinking of creative ways to do just that. So, I kind of was very proud of myself. In the end of things, I ended up retiring the character. And I think I made a sorcerer afterwards. I think that's what it was. I went from, like, bard to sorcerer. Because I didn't really like the fact that I was just like, I had nothing. I have nothing.
Be right back.
Okay. Nah. I'm going to mute. There we go.
Why are you muting him? He didn't do anything. He's not doing anything, so why do you need to mute him?
Because she wanted to.
I was gonna say, I mute you every single time you get up from your table, like, desk.
It's so that no random noises come through, you know,
Oh, okay.
like horrible dying sounds or something. You know.
You
No one
realize
wants to
how
hear that.
weird it is when you call Indiana Jones just Indiana? It sounds weird to me. Like, if you call him Mr. Jones or Indy, it sounds okay. When you call a Harrison Ford character, hey, Indiana, it's like, that sounds so weird to me. If it was, like, if your character, you want to be like a female Indiana, that makes sense. But when you call Indiana Jones just Indiana, it sounds weird to me. Like,
That's true. Well, it was funny because, like, the character's nickname was actually Iggy.
okay.
Awesome.
Oh,
So-
it's- like, I just now noticed that. I'm like, maybe that's why no one calls him Indiana, because it sounds like
The
not.
girl's name, a little bit.
Well, it just doesn't sound like we know who they're addressing, but it just deep in thought.
Anyway.
Jeremy's still muted. I can mute, but I can't unmute.
Why can't you unmute?
Really?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any. Well, now what do we do? Doesn't he have to
Maybe he has
say
to unmute
something?
himself.
There he
There we
goes.
Clicked on something. Actually, looks like I'm gonna have to head out extra early because I gotta get this crap in my eyes under control before I go to work. So,
Are you
Yeah,
heading out?
Yeah, I'm gonna try some ice packs and see if I can get.
Okay.
Hopefully this rain kicks the pollen count down because.
Okie dokie.
Oh
Have
my.
fun.
Yep.
See you later.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya.
Aw, now we're down to 3.
Womp womp.
Get some more.
Bum, bum, bum.
You probably would have been able to say more if we started on time.
We blame
You nag us all the time. Exactly. Yeah. See?
Let's just sit back and watch the fun.
I don't know what we're doing now.
I was gonna still continue with questions.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'll answer for Jeremy because I'm
because we
clearly
both
the
know
best
him so well.
job. By the best, I mean the absolute worst.
Okay. Next
What's on your
question.
shirt? I see Link. What's he supposed to be?
Okay, give me okay.
Nobody knows.
I saw Link and I'm like, I like Zelda Link. He's cool. Oh, that's clever. Oh, Link Skywalker.
Well, it was because was playing the Dresden Files game, and he's like a huge Star Wars fan. Well, Jim Butcher's a huge Star Wars fan, so I was like, I'm gonna find a Star Wars shirt to wear.
That's clever. The Link
Fun.
Skywalker.
Okay. Question 2. Favorite weapon from any game?
Ooh.
I do have a feeling we've done this one before.
We did
Something
favorite,
similar.
your choice in a weapon, your choice.
Oh, what would you use as opposed
Opposed
to
to-
a weapon that you like, which
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
not be good?
Yeah.
Mm.
I have to say Frostborn, because when I first saw it, it was the first weapon, that I was just like, man, that's a really badass weapon. Because, well, the Lich King. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was really just showed you the intensity of that one weapon. And there's not really been that many weapons that I think of that were just a standalone power. Maybe they had what was it? Ragnaros's hammer or something like that for a while. Something like that. But I don't like weapons that are just oh, this character has this weapon. I want weapons who have the character, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Things that have a mind of their own.
Yeah. So.
I don't want my sword to talk. This isn't Transistor. Why don't you go this way?
I'm definitely gonna have to go with the pistol from the first Halo. Cause
The
that thing is
pistols?
fucking OP.
Yeah,
The
it is
pistol
OP.
from Halo. It is better than every other gun. I was gonna say
Is that the one that
sniper
has the
rifle, but-
the quills that coming out of the back of the gun?
No.
I don't think so.
In the first one, it looks like a overly done
That one has a
or
scope,
something.
right?
It does, yeah.
So,
well,
yeah,
I
it
think
is-
technically
it-
the
yeah.
visor has a scope, so yeah. But it is so damn powerful. It's just like shot to the head, everything dies. Has the same range as a sniper rifle,
It
same
really
damage as a
is.
sniper rifle, and you start with it. So I'm just like, yeah, best thing I've ever used. Take that into any other game, you'll fucking wreck shop. So yeah, pick that.
Alex.
I mean, that's hard. I mean, I like eggs.
Oh.
In Resident Evil 4, the eggs aren't just health items. You can actually equip them and throw them at enemies. And there's nothing more satisfying than weakening an enemy and then finishing them off by throwing an egg at them.
What?
I totally love doing that because it's just they just get right on the face and then they're just like, ugh. And at one point, I don't think I could ever do this, but at one point, if I could kill a boss with an egg, like a really hard boss, and let the finishing blow be the egg, that'd be awesome. But I would never be able to do that because I don't want to. Because eggs are kind of rare; they're not like handgun ammo or anything. All the weapons in Saints Row 4 are great. The dubstep gun's fun.
That is pretty good.
There are a lot of them, and I'm trying to think I do like the eggs. I mean, they're not my favorite weapon, but they're one of my favorite to use.
Kind of the most hilarious weapon.
A lot of the weapons that I like in Devil May Cry are good, especially Devil May Cry 3, because one of the weapons is a guitar vampire axe thing. One thing that I've always kind of liked is just dual swords. Just having, instead of like a sword and shield, the shield is replaced with another sword. Or a sword, or a blade, or a keyblade, or any game that lets you use two. Probably why I liked No More Heroes.
Oathkeeper and Oblivion.
Oathkeeper and Oblivion, I freaking love that.
That was the best thing.
What did I use? I used in Kingdom Hearts 2. I think I used Fenrir and the Ultimate Weapon because I completely was just like I got to get the best weapons, and I did, and I freaking loved it. So I would get the Ultimate Weapon, which takes a ton of time to get because you got to complete everything and you got to find the super rare items, and then you get Fenrir from defeating Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2. So I would use those, and that was awesome. So if I had to pick just one, just a rather realistic answer, a serious answer, I'd just pick dual swords, I guess. Dual swords, dual beam swords, dual keyblades, dual one-handed weapons that you can just... Because I know how to use those in real life. I got 3rd degree black belts, so I know how to use them right. Yeah.
Fun.
He's like, yeah, I bought it from Walmart.
Who said that? No, I don't know what you're... What are you laughing at? I don't like it when you laugh at me and then I don't know why you're laughing.
Sorry.
You said you had a 3rd degree black belt, and I'm like, yeah, you bought it from Walmart.
Oh, you think I'm lying? You think I'm just making this up? I can prove it. I have the documentation.
Oh, that's fine.
It's somewhere. Yeah, it's probably in my basement or something.
In your basement.
I can do Taekwondo.
Oh, you can do Taekwondo.
I know you think I'm lying, but I'm really not.
I know. I have a shirt that says that I learned Bushido.
Yeah, I don't know Bushido. I know Taekwondo.
Yeah. It's like the dojo that I had like been with. They did one tournament like locally. Then they did a tournament in Las Vegas and never came back. And we're like, what? Like literally like at one point I'm like, what? They went to Las Vegas and just never came back. Like the dojo shut down, like they went to Las Vegas and I'm like, guys,
Random.
like what is going on?
They went on a drug trip a la Fear and Loathing. I was in it for like 12 years. I mean, seriously.
Kat, remove your Pringles tube from the cam. You made a Pringles tube. Pringles tube.
No, not the free advertisement.
Yeah, like the Pringles people. They're advertising our product. Yes, because they're totally watching this.
Unprofessional. So is the trash back here. I'm not.
Just when you're done, just chuck it over your shoulder. It's all good.
Like a big mess. Those are crumbs in there. Those are a pain.
Okay, the days that I'm professional are the days that I actually have sleep. The days that I've
What
just been
days
like,
when you're professional?
hey,
Those have
days.
that has never happened.
Oh,
that
can
bad?
of worms.
Of course
Opened.
not. None of us are professional. Jeremy's the closest, but he's not professional.
He's
None
not
of us are.
professional.
That's what makes this interesting. Like, this wouldn't be a podcast. This would be a business meeting.
Excuse
Like,
me while I
we're
go
gonna-
get my business.
We're going
suit
to
on.
discuss today's regime. So we're going to make our podcast plan for the next 25 years. We're not doing that. Then you get out a big chart. And it's like a... What are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm missing charts.
Just looking for a chart.
I don't know a chart. Unless you
Sorry.
like, I can make one like in the 5 seconds. I got like a mechanical
This
pencil.
is where a green screen comes in handy. Just have one
I
magically
want a
appear
green
behind you.
screen
Like,
so
yes.
bad. That would be so fun.
Oh man.
I'd be a good.
If I had the space, I would have one, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Like literally behind me is my bed.
I don't want to be a green screen.
Actually,
like,
that's what like my current setup. why I did this current setup, because there's a lot of room, like, back here.
You want
that I can put
to?
You
in
could always use it as a pink screen. You just chroma key out the pink.
Yeah, that's true.
Just take everything off the wall and then just.
Yeah,
Anything
but
to get the pink out.
the thing is, you see pink here, you see pink
Oh, that would be
here,
yes.
you see pink
It
here.
might
That's true. That's so true. You just see
You
spots of like
True. Missing.
she's breaking out with a case of whatever game she's playing.
Awesome.
That would be funny. So yeah, I think green screen or yellow screen or anything that stands out a lot from the human
Okay,
color.
Fair enough. Green. It is. That's probably why they picked it.
There we go. We now
Green
have
and
our.
blue.
Here's our graph.
What does that mean? For all we know, it could just be like mountains, because it looks like mountains.
It is. It's the location behind Carthnall right now.
Yes. The flow. It is.
Well, the Arctic, there are no mountains. It's just snow desert.
That's true.
Whatever.
Well,
No, there's still
see, there's your
stuff
chart.
there.
There's your professional chart. Meh. Meh.
All right.
Hmm.
Meh.
That's
That
our
line graph.
that's our budget for
Legs,
professional.
That's our budget.
Like 3 months. Okay, we're covered on professionalism for the next 3 months. We don't need to do it again.
Sweet.
That's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Oh man.
I'm gonna put that away now.
How about another
Let's
question?
get us another question. Question time. Before I freeze to death out here.
Oh, you're fine.
I
Suck it
love the
up.
fact that your camera is like frozen in a way that you're like, oh, Janet.
Yep.
It's really cold where you are,
You're
but
like-
it's really muggy where we are.
It's just.
Like,
Yep.
nasty.
Okay. I only have literally 3 topics left in the hat, which is exactly the 5 topics we have for today.
Hey, Grim, get to work.
Awesome.
Hello?
Do your job, Grim.
You had one job. Sorry. Okay,
Although
okay.
to be fair, we wouldn't have had this many questions if it wasn't for Grim. So.
That's
True.
totally
We would have
true.
been done weeks ago. We'd
You
been
have
Yeah.
you get a
"There's
gold
no
star,
question."
Grim. You get a nice big gold star to put on your lapel.
Yeah, lapel. See, we are professional. We said lapel.
Yeah, now we're covered for the next 2 years.
2 years. Okay,
Sweet.
what is the most important in a story? A good protagonist or a good antagonist?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Well, I'm gonna answer it because I think that I've found good antagonists to usually be more interesting than good protagonists. Like, because an antagonist is, I think a good antagonist is someone that you just love to hate. Like, I remember Voss from Far Cry 3. He's a complete psychopath. And you don't want to know why. Because this is one thing that I really hate in some cases. When there's a villain in some story, and they do a bunch of nasty, evil, jerk things, and you just hate them. And you're like, oh, I want to cut this guy down so bad. And then you find out near the end that they had a troubled past, and they're like, oh, they're doing this, you know, and I'm like, why in the world did you do that?
Doesn't excuse shit.
Why in the
down.
world why are you trying to make me sympathize with this person who you've conditioned me to hate so bad? That's like,
Because they want to fuck with your head.
Itachi from Naruto. Like,
Yeah.
he comes into the story and he's an asshole. And he does all these stupid, evil, nasty things. And then at the end you realize, oh, he actually was sort of the good guy. And I'm like, why does he have to be the good guy? Because
They do that too much in that show though. Like
I know, that's why I completely burned down on it. I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys have you in the first series before Shippuden, like, you guys have great command of your characters, and then you do stuff like this. You just gave up. But I think that I've always remembered really good antagonists more than really good protagonists. And don't get me, and I think that even a good protagonist is one who's kind of the antagonist, one who has, you know, a bit of a darker side, like being the anti-hero. Because if they're just all good, like I like Justice, and that's boring. No one wants to see that. I like characters that have a lot of waves, a lot of dynamic to them. And I usually think that antagonists usually have that better. And that's probably why I think that a good villain usually resonates better with me than a good hero.
I tend to feel that you need to have both equally as good. I mean, like you can't play a game without it. I'd like you can't have the antagonist stuck because then you're not motivated, and then the protagonist that's in most games is technically you, so you are
That's true.
as good as you want to be for those games. So, I mean, the more awesome the antagonist, the more awesome your gameplay is. Therefore, you're more awesome. That's like how it feels to me. So you can't have one without the other. Personally, like if you go this one's better, then it's okay, game sucks now. I've never been able to play a game where it's like this is how it is and you like totally suck, or the antagonist is just so bad that you have no drive to even go after them. So you're like, I'm just gonna dick around with all this side stuff that doesn't really actually matter. So I think there has to be a good balance.
Mm-hmm.
Has to make you.
I'll
want
definitely agree with
to
that.
Play the game and follow a story and all of that.
We've had a lot of really bad villains too.
Oh yeah, so
like,
bad.
The characters who are there just for the sake of having a villain. You
Yeah.
really don't know them.
Wait,
Not worth
like
it.
who?
Like just characters who want to like take over the world. I mean, trying to think of something specific. Maybe like Black Doom from Shadow the Hedgehog, who's just this big black alien with a gravelly voice and who wants to take over the world. Like, that's completely soulless. I do not care about this villain in the least. That's why I like, villains that just
Have a
surprise
purpose.
you, that have charisma, like a Handsome Jack in Borderlands 2. He's funny because he's such an asshole.
Yeah.
His characters that, if you have a villain who's a jerk and always expresses that jerkiness creatively, that sticks with me. That's why we remember characters like that. That's
So-
why everyone likes Gladys from Portal.
Mm-hmm.
She's an amazing villain because she's always has that snarky one-liner stuff.
So I'll actually make a subtopic of this topic. What is your favorite gaming villain?
Ooh.
Oh, mine. I think I'm going to have to say is the elusive man from Mass Effect. Just throughout the whole thing, like he throws his little villain minions and causes wars and stuff at you, but the whole time he's there and like he'll start talking to you and be like, "Yeah, so we're doing the right thing. You should totally join us. Help save the galaxy in this way that's totally evil but works at the same time." And I think he's just a really good villain. The way he's played, it's very smooth. It's very engaging. You want to listen to the cutscenes and stuff like that he's in. You don't want to skip them. So he's my favorite.
Nice.
Close second would be Handsome Jack because he's just a maniacal ass.
I think that that's really hard because I'm trying to think that I like a lot of villains, but probably because I like the games they're in. Like the games kind of give them character. One of my favorite games ever is Banjo-Kazooie, and I love Gruntilda because when you're walking around the hub world, all of a sudden you'll see a dialogue box pop out, and she'll just make this little rhyming couplet saying that you're like an idiot and it's just the
Oh
whole
my god,
time.
I can't stand the Banjo-Kazooie games. It's just grunting and not even
I
talking.
know,
It's like,
but
oh
the
my god,
dialogue,
speak a goddamn
The
word.
dialogue is great just because she's badgering you throughout the entire game, and then when you finally get to the final boss and you actually defeat her, it's just satisfying. Now,
It's like, I don't have to listen to her anymore.
but I think Gladys is definitely up there for me, just because she's she sort of does the same thing that Gruntilda does. She sort of badgers you throughout the entire game, and when you finally get to the end, you have this sense of satisfaction, and you realize that just the writing in Portal was so good, and all of the really good writing was reserved for Gladys. And I think the same thing kind of happened with Portal 2 when we had Wheatley. Because, oh god, Stephen Merchant just sold that role. He just did such a great job.
Very much so.
I like villains that have that have that charisma, that are able to, be funny too. And
Yeah.
and while I do sort of have this interest in more, I guess, typical villains, like just super strong, super powerful ones, like Sephiroth. He's cool,
Yeah.
but I think that's just because the role he's in is cool, not necessarily him. But if I had to pick just one, I think I'd pick Gladys, just because she took a lot of the thing I like about Gruntilda, how she's such a jerk to you throughout the entire game, and just made it snarkier, made it wittier, and you just sort of, the whole time you're like, oh, she's such a bitch, but the whole time you sort of love that role. You grow to really appreciate her place in the story, and I really like Gladys' character, because it defines that game. That sense of humor it really shows throughout everything in Portal. So I'd say Gladys. What's yours, Kat?
Actually, like, one of my favorite villains, and this was something that was a little weird, because, like, when I first played the game, like, very first time playing the game, I was just like, like, ew, like, and it's actually Seymour from Final Fantasy X. Because he was, like, he came back up, like, 3 or 4 times in the game, and every single time I felt like he wasn't just there. He had a purpose to be there. It wasn't just like, look, we need a villain for this. It was like he actually had a purpose, like, just in general, a purpose. And so it was a lot better than a lot of, like, the villains that I'd seen. One of my secondary favorite villains is from the Dot Hack series, and it's usually, like, the being that is hacking everyone or data draining everyone. And I think that's very interesting. Like, you have corrupted AI, and you actually, like, see what it is to be corrupted AI. And I thought that was interesting, but there's not that much, like, character plot and character development, because, like, in Dot Hack Infection, it's like this just shadowy being. Hey, there's the thunder. It's just this shadowing being, and he has, like, this red cross thing that he puts the character to, and then you get data drained and the character disappears. And then when you fight him later in the game, there's no real dialogue, it's all staticky, it's, like, very mysterious. And it was like, okay, this gave me the urge to move forward in the game, but not to discover who he was, or what he was doing, or how
So it's more the role than the character, I'd say.
What, for
like
the unknown?
The sort of black miasma and Dot Hack. It's more what this character is there for, as opposed to the character themselves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was no, like, real character.
Exactly. So it's just...
And that's kind of, like, why I liked Seymour, because he was very suave, and, like, when he came into the situations, he kind of always gave you an ultimatum, and it always, for some reason, involved Yuna, and it was great, and it was just, like, you felt that this person actually had something that was meaningful, and the reason why he was an antagonist wasn't so much because of, like, something that he really wanted to do that he thought was wrong. It was just, like, your character's perspective of him was askewed. And that was pretty cool, because then you could look from his point of view where we're really the villains, and so on and so forth. So I think that's really neat. So he's honestly, like, my favorite villain out of a video game series so far. People are really surprised when I say that, and I'm like, it's not Riku from, like, Kingdom Hearts, it's not, like... some of the villains from Assassin's Creed. I'm like, Assassin's Creed has too many villains. They're, like, insignificant.
They're not even really villains. They're just representing Abstergo in general.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. And then, like, Kingdom Hearts, I'm sorry, I really don't think that the end plotline of Kingdom Hearts is actually that entertaining. Like,
Question for you.
What?
The
Kat,
dark.
if you take instead of thinking of like all the little villains and Assassin's Creed as individual villains, think of them as one villainous entity that you're going around and whatnot. What do you
That's
think
true.
of it then?
That's
Because
Uh,
you're going up against the Templars, not an individual person here and there. You're going up against the entire
yeah, but that's
creed
the
of the Templars
You're
and
going up against an
Abstergo.
entire side. You really can't
Yeah.
relate to it because they're not. They're, this side, the collective side, isn't a character. It's just.
In a way, it sort of does form up one. They do have a common goal and directive. They're all striving for the same thing and do
Well, you can't really
all try
build
to achieve the same
charisma out
purpose.
of just a ton of an organization. That's what I think.
Hmm.
It's hard to say,
I
but
tend to disagree. That's alright.
I don't have any.
more
I don't have any real
questions?
connection with when you judge like this is Abstergo, this is the Templars.
Yeah.
You can't relate to that.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at them as a whole, they seem like much better than just being like, okay, well, there's a mass army of just bad people that I have to assassinate.
Yeah.
Kind of looking at it as like Abstergo or just the Templars in a whole, it still kind of though has that same emotion where it's like you don't really know
Sure.
like
I mean,
about them,
yeah.
like. So it kind of reminds
Too
me.
much unknown.
Yeah, it kind of does remind me of the Secret World with the three factions, where it's like you have Illuminati, you have Templars, and you have Dragons. And it's kind of like if you're playing an Illuminati, you're technically playing like one of the people from Assassin's Creed, and then you're killing Templars. So, I mean, it's the same premise. They just put a game into it. Like,
I actually wrote an article recently about how bad the Assassin's Creed story has gotten over time.
yeah.
How it's just getting way too complex, and I never had any sort of interest in Desmond's character ever. He's just sort of this conduit for all of these other characters. And I remember writing this and like, Ezio's an amazing character. Not only is he a good character on his own, but he made Altair a good character. Altair got such a reboot in Revelations, and it made me care about this guy who was just a freaking cardboard cutout in his own game. Now I
It
find
wasn't a
out
cardboard cutout.
he was just... Well, first of all, he needed some freaking emotion in the way he talked. Stop making that face. Now I feel bad.
Wait.
You pushed
ready?
the button.
Are you ready
Sad
for this?
button.
You ready for this? Are you sure?
Probably not.
Okay, give me 1 second.
No. Not very sure at all. She's gonna come back dressed as like a full assassin or something, isn't she?
I will say that...
What have we done?
Oh,
Wait, are you ready?
no.
No, we're not. But do it anyway.
Okay, that's cute.
It's so
Is that one of those, oh god, what are they called?
It's the bubble.
Yeah, those things, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I just, maybe it's
So
because
tiny.
the game itself, the first Assassin's Creed, wasn't very good. They didn't give much opportunity to expand on the characters. In Revelations, when you learn Altair's history after what happened in the first game, I'm like, this guy's awesome. He did all this work for the assassins, and I'm like, why didn't we know about this the first
It's no longer
time?
in condition.
Like, I like Altair now, less than Ezio. I love Ezio. He was an amazing character from start to frickin' finish.
He's not. He doesn't bubble. I think he's just.
Are they supposed to?
They're
No.
not bubbles, are they?
No, I don't think
I thought
so.
they were just little statues.
I know
Little
how
cute
much
statue
Kat
things.
loves Altair. Like, his little
Yeah, well, I mean,
shrine to
if-
Altair off screen.
I do.
If the camera moved her right, we would be a whole crap ton of posters.
God, I'm just now I got this picture of like this Altair picture covered wall with like lipstick hearts drawn on it. And,
I'm not that
and-
bad.
Well, thank God for that.
He'll be
I
my
do
best
like
buddy.
Altair's outfit more than Ezio's because it seems more. Maybe it's because there's more white. You can see more white. He looks a lot purer, I guess.
Well, also consider the story in which he comes from, the area in which he comes from is
Yeah, that's true.
Jerusalem. Jerusalem. And so, I mean, it's kind of like you're gonna have to have the desert whites,
Mm-hmm.
and
It
whereas
makes sense.
Ezio, with
Yeah,
it
it's
being
more a city because he lives
Yeah.
in like the Renaissance. I think that when it comes to the best game in the series, I got to give it to Brotherhood because everything is in one single city and it makes the whole thing feel much bigger. And I liked how a lot of the side quested. But when it comes to story, Revelations is the best I've
Yes,
seen.
I do absolutely agree. Revelations has been one of the best storied games that I've seen.
Because like I traded in Brotherhood, and I'm kind of mad at that, but I still have Revelations because I think when it came to finally decide, like this is Ezio after all this time. He's like this. He's not this young street brawler like he was in Assassin's Creed 2. Now he's this like a wise sage of the assassin, and he's commanding everyone. He's like a real leader. And then when you see Altair, he was the same way apparently, and that's just a great story. And they closed out Ezio's story so well. And why can't they give us another good story instead of like Connor or Edward Kenway or whoever this new guy is going to be? And why did they drop the Abilene from Liberation? She was cool. Keep her. Don't get rid of her. I don't know. I really
wow.
what? What happened?
What? What's going on?
What are you doing?
My whole room lit up.
Yeah, that happened to me
What?
earlier. Now it's not raining where I am.
Whoop. It's because I got it. Go on.
It's moved over.
I just I know I'm gushing about the Assassin's Creed series, and I think that the story has gotten off track, and I think
I haven't
that
played the fourth one yet. I really want to.
I want to too because I hear the gameplay's good, but I do not because the problem is now you're playing as someone who works at Abstergo. You're not playing as a character. You're just sort of a role, just a faceless person at Abstergo, and I'm like, I kind of want a character. I mean, Desmond had the chance to be a good character, but I think they blew it. I think they just his entire placement was just to experience everyone else's, and I have conflicted emotions because the Assassin's Creed series, gameplay-wise, has evolved considerably.
Oh yeah.
The period between Assassin's Creed 1 and Revelations was just getting better and better. But now
Grim says not enough assassin, too much brawling. I agree. I do agree with that. First two games, Brotherhood, a lot of your missions you had to assassinate. You had to jump off balconies, you had to dive, you had to assassinate.
I just love that part where you slow down when you're right above someone you're gonna assassinate. That's so cool.
And
yeah.
It's just like a lot of the times for the newer games, it's just like really like you just go into combat and you kind of just get swarmed by all these men of combat, and you're just like, really, what happened to the fact that I'm an assassin?
And the combat isn't very good. I mean, it's just
in the newest one, he's not actually an assassin.
Yeah,
he's just sort of hooked up with he's just a pirate in a stolen assassin costume, basically.
I mean, Connor was kind of the same way.
I mean, I didn't like Connor. I mean,
it wasn't like you truly did see, like with Altair and Ezio, how they were with the Order. They were part of the original assassins. And as you got the characters that went further along, you started to realize that they were just like kind of on the outskirts of the Order. They weren't like personally trained. They weren't like really that important to just the Order itself. And I think that the reason why they're not doing so many of like the same continual stories is because a lot of people lost attention when they found out Ezio had 4 freaking games. Like, that's kind of what, like, they're starting to realize that people kind of just have, like, a short attention span. And they're like, well, they want just one-shots. We want one-shots. But at the same time, when you get the people who are truly, like, Assassin's Creed fans, it doesn't matter. Like, we will play a story that has, say...
Oh, yeah.
Someone who... I wouldn't say Connor, because Connor had his glory. He had his thing. He had his DLCs. It was good, but it wasn't too in depth. There was not much behind him to really say it deserved another game.
I kind of think that making only one-shot games doesn't give you a chance to really like the character.
Especially when you don't get to play the character through like half the game.
Yeah, I mean, oh god, Assassin's Creed is way too long to really get into Connor's story. And I think that's kind of why I liked Ezio so much. You got to see his whole story, from literally when he was born to at the end of Revelations. So you get this, you get to see the evolution. You get to see his character grow up and become less just sort of instinctive and more organized. You get to see him go from just a guy who literally didn't want to join the Assassins to a guy who commands the Assassins everywhere around Europe. And I think when at one point, maybe whenever this generation of gaming ends, I'm gonna like write up a list that says these are my favorite new protagonists from this generation, and Ezio's definitely going to be on there because it's so good. Because I mean, he's so multifaceted. He's serious. He kind of has this little suave when he's around the ladies, and he's just so interesting. But
Yep.
I don't think any other character in Assassin's Creed even came close to what he did. And I think the one who came closest is Altair, but I think that's because Ezio helped him out there in Revelations.
Yeah. But like something I noticed with kind of the people who have played Black Flag, they've taken a lot of things that are just like, they're really cool to a gaming aspect, like the ship battles and stuff like that, and it just became so much so that I don't think Ubisoft with the Assassin's Creed games really knows how to balance that out right now.
I don't think it doesn't seem like they're making Assassin's Creed games, because the ship battles are fine, and all the side quests are fine, and the ship exploration is fine, but where's the stuff that's key to Assassin's Creed?
Right.
You don't really do too many assassinations. You don't do too much stealth. I mean, how can you do stealth on the ocean? Aside from
It doesn't really work.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one problem, because it really just doesn't seem like
A question for you, because I know that you love this game more than I've known anyone. What if they did 4 is really just a way to bridge the time gap between the different assassins things? Because it does climb up through the ages to the point where,
well, that's
if there
even
was
worse.
just a big gap, it would be pretty bad. Like, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, what happened all to the assassins between all of this
for
time?"
like a story closure. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if they're just closing the gap,
Yeah.
that just means that that's the only point of having it. I mean, I liked the Ezio trilogy because it felt very thought out. You could see.
Right. But what I mean by this is, if they now came out with like a series of games where you ended up playing as an assassin, but in the time period where they're all, instead of going from one person back through the Animus, what if you ended up in that time period and only playing in that time period?
So you mean without the Animus?
Yeah.
By the way, chat right now, you are absolutely amazing, because they're trying to compare Ezio with Batman. Rich boy, all those women, ninja, stalks, protects his city/territory, smoke bombs. Yep,
And
he's
his
Batman.
parents die.
And the Doc boys.
Father and his brothers.
So yes, the Joker would be the Jester. The Jester.
Well, you kind of like Batman, actually. That's an interesting observation.
He's a lot like Batman.
Yeah.
And
He has all his
A lot like the new
gadgets.
Batman.
his little assassin blade and his
Yeah.
parachute.
Well, think about it. Like, you had
Ezio's
Leonardo da
freaking
Vinci.
Batman. That's so freaking right. All right, I'll
Yeah.
put on Twitter that Ezio's Batman.
Ezio
I'm
is
so
Batman.
sold.
Oh, that's all.
That's gonna be the title of this. Ezio is
Ezio's
Batman.
Batman.
We have discovered the secret link.
Yeah, I mean, without the Animus, I mean, I remember when you first played the first Assassin's Creed, when
Yeah.
you see the Animus, you're like, oh, a machine that lets you relive ancestral memories through your mind? That's kind of interesting. That seems like, I remember when I first saw, I'm like, this is really good. That's an interesting plot point, and it's an excuse.
Got to be leading up to that point, though, don't they?
Well, it's an excuse for Ubisoft to be able to tackle so many different eras and actually kind of make sense of it. Otherwise, you're just jumping all over the place, and it doesn't really have that sort of continuity. But I think that if they got rid of that, got rid of the animus completely, it might be a little better. Because then the story, so what you'd be doing is you'd be getting a reboot every time a new game would come out.
Yeah.
You're not really tied down to having this central plot about the assassins and the Templars and the gods and the Apple of Eden or anything. It's hard to say, but I think considering everything, that, god damn it, Cat. Yep. That's completely right.
For people who are trying to figure out what just got sent, it was this.
That's completely right.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
so true.
Ezio is Batman.
I'm so saving that image. I'm so saving that. I'm just calling it Ezio is Batman.
Yep.
Yeah. Ezio is Batman.
Oh god, we just got on the topic of Assassin's Creed. How long have we been talking about this? Like 15 minutes?
More than that. It's been like a half hour. We only hit 3 topics.
It's a good series. I think that a lot of good things came from that series, even though it's not as interesting as it was around maybe the beginning of Brotherhood. And I'll say this, the multiplayer isn't bad. I've played the multiplayer of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be so dumb. And then I played it, and I'd be bad at it. But I think it's good.
No, it should be Bezio.
Bezio? Batzio? Like B-A-T-Z-I-O. Batzio. Bezio is like Ezio.
It's me, I'm Bezio.
Bezio's like Ezio wearing like a flowered apron and taking a pie out of the oven. That's Bezio.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, just think of Ezio and his assassins, and then he just has a little pink flowery apron on.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Uncle Bezio, can we have some pie? You gotta wait for it to cool. Oh, he says it in the Italian accent. I'm not good at that.
Do you reckon we have time for another question, or are we running out of time?
We have 8 minutes left. 8 minutes left.
That's not much time.
No.
We might want to save the questions then, because we're kind of running low.
Yep.
Grim, do your job.
I don't want to run out.
Grim does enough.
Other people should do their job. Hey, everyone else watching the chat, work.
Yeah.
Work.
Guys in my stream,
Work.
submit questions to the Twitter.
I know you're watching this. I know you, Mr. Zerbs, Akanjo, I know you're watching this. Give us a question. And I know you're watching this because you subscribe to Cat's channel.
And to the 2 or 3 people that are in my stream, guys, submit questions to my Twitter account or to Almiriel.
Just hashtag slash
either of those
channel.
work. Yeah,
we'll find
that
it.
works too, Just
slash chat.
send them at us. Throw them at us.
Slash chat.
We want to know your questions so that we don't run out.
Ask about Bezio.
Bezio.
Yeah, you might be coming at the end of the stream and going, what the fuck is a Bezio? Well, you're going to have to watch,
list
find
your
out.
name.
It's me, Bezio.
Bezio.
Bezio Attore.
Requiesca in
Okie dokie. Well, this storm here is kind of getting pretty loud right now, as you can tell by the darkness of my room.
Yes.
Darkness. So, as for where you can find us, as always, I have the links at the very bottom of the screen. Actually, Teogers I need to update because he now has Twitter, which he hasn't.
He was hiding it the whole time and thought we wouldn't.
And then he let it slip, and we're like, oh yes, we must follow him now.
So, yeah, I don't think he really...
He doesn't use it, but he's going to get a ton of followers even though he does nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be fucking hilarious.
It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. So, it's Teogr Ag Fiach, which, well, you can, if you know us, you can go on our Twitters and just find him, and it's Teogr, which is awesome. So we're just trying to flood his Twitter with everything right now. So as always, like I said, all of the information is at the very bottom of our screen for our lovely hosts that I love to tickle their heads.
Feels so good.
Only
He's hiding from it. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Wow.
Wait
I'm messing
for it.
around.
Wait for it. Ready?
Wait.
No.
It's fucking hilarious because on my screen it's in the wrong spot.
You know what would be weirder? If I just started going like... I'm like really liking it. That would be weirder.
That would be so creepy too.
I have an idea.
Man.
Hold on. Pet him. Pet him.
It's so cute. It's so cute. Oh my god, it's a kitty.
Let's have the good day.
So Grim says, "Hey Kat, take less than a week to upload this time." Actually, that kind of wasn't my fault because I didn't realize that the upload hadn't uploaded. So we're taking stuff from twitch.tv and taking it over to YouTube. There's like a 3 to 4 hour window that's like in between here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up just being like, you know what, I'm going to let it go overnight and I'll check it in the morning. And then morning came and I was just like, oh, so it uploaded because like I saw on my Twitter, I thought was the video. Apparently it wasn't. So I got on and was like, why am I missing, like, why is it still at number 10? We're on number 12. Like, where is 11? So I go into where my like videos are to say that it uploaded, and there's just this huge like thing that says that it could not be uploaded. And I'm like, what? Like, why did it not upload? And then I like checked over to like the Twitch and it said I logged out when my computer went like to sleep. So I'm just like, whatever. So I redid it and it's up now with the new banner, and hopefully I will be doing a few more like videos. Can't really promise anything because like I've just been doing them for major things and not the vlogs anymore. But I do need to like get rid of all this shiznad that's back there. So
All the trash.
So are you gonna actually do your /camp again?
I have like I always will, just like kind of at some point. But right now, I just, every single time I sit down at the computer, I'm like, so I just need to play ESO. And I'm like, it only takes me, here's the sad part of things. It only takes me a half hour of my time to make a /camp. It takes me usually like 10 to 15 minutes to actually like make the video, and then 10 to 15 minutes to upload it to YouTube. So it's like 30 minutes out of my day, and for some reason my head can't comprehend the fact that it's only 30 minutes, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna take forever. I don't want to do a video today.
ESO.
Don't ask. Don't ask.
Oh well.
So at some point, /camps will be coming back. We'll be doing /roleplays as I play the Dresden Files. As always, we have /chat on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, right here, right now, on twitch.tv/AlmirMeow. So any of these go onto YouTube so you can check them later. Unless they're corrupted like the one that we had like 2-3 weeks ago. That was just like...
Yeah, it was great.
So.
Yeah. Shit happens.
Yep.
I like how my camera's partially unfreezed at the end. So useful. Wow.
Well, it's still been freezed for us. Like, you've been at the same position, like, this entire time.
Okay, well, it's working on my side anyway.
Make a /camp in ESO sitting at a camp.
Do it! Do it! That would be awesome!
You wouldn't be leaving ESO then?
That's true.
Everybody wins.
I should just start
Totally.
making. I should start making like in-game like character camps of like.
Totally.
Today I went fishing. Today I defeated Molong Ball. Today I cast this spell into the darkness.
There you go. Daily ESO diary. There you go.
Yep. That'd be funny. But so, Alex, where are they gonna find you for this week?
I am Post Mesmeric on the Twitter. Also visit my YouTube channel, Post Mesmeric on the YouTube. As far as the videos go, I'm actually working on Vidya Games episode, God, what was it? 4 proper. I've been getting into it. I got all the footage done, got all the commentary done. It's just going to be post-production, and that's always something that tires me out rather quickly. But I am going to try and get that out. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next Mez play. I'm kind of just maybe something from the retro side of things. Also read my stuff at Hardcore Gamer Magazine. I got a review of this god-awful game that I'd really like people to read because it's this freaking game. It's not something you should spend money on at all.
Wait, what is it?
What?
What's
Which
the name?
game?
Yeah.
The game's called Into the Dark Ultimate Trash Edition.
Ah, okay.
Don't play it.
Gotcha.
I don't care if you like those kinds of games that are so bad it's good. The game tries to be that. It does. It only gets half of it right.
Oh wow, that's pretty
But
bad.
I'm going to do that. I keep saying this. I'm trying to get back into live streaming. I just need to do all the sort of prep work, getting a proper overlay and testing latency between webcam and gameplay, because I usually try to stream things that aren't really on PC. Maybe some games that not very many people play. But I'm trying to do that. Other than that, I do want to say thanks to Nonadecimal Software for contributing the code for Social Justice Warriors, which let me do the most recent Mez play. They said on their website, hey, if you want to make a video from it, we'll give you a code. Just link us back to the video. And they gave it to me, and I played it, and I made a little video.
Sweet.
And they were very nice enough to tweet out the link a little bit and comment. So right now that video has 57 views as to the proposed 20 that I thought it would get. So I mean, it's good for me. I mean, I know 57 views are like 57
Yeah.
views. But big shout out there, because that was people watched it, and that was a really interesting game right there. It's really, once I get this new hard drive, I'm gonna try and do some longer Let's Plays. Maybe actually do that Nuzlocke run, and maybe full plays. Although that's kind of hard to do when you have there's always that dead air in the Let's Plays. But I'll try and
Yeah,
get that
those
together.
are fine.
Because really the only thing that's stopping me from making longer videos is just having the storage space to be able to store the footage. So that is something that I'm going to be doing within the next few weeks.
Cool.
Yay!
Well, you can find me at alpha_cardinal at Twitter, or Twitch TV/cardinal, or YouTube. Just YouTube the Cardinals, and I'm all there. That's where you can find me. I'm gonna go secede into this tundra behind me and disappear
That
into
we
the
can't
frost.
see.
You'll never see me from
No.
before.
You need to take a screenshot. You need to take a screenshot of your background right now and put it on Twitter and show us the tundra that you have.
Just take a screenshot of
Screenshot
you,
this
cut out just you, and then put yourself and put the background
Just
as just
On the mountains or something.
like an iceberg with penguins. So you see penguins in the
All
background.
you would have to do is freaking copy and paste penguins into his background right now, and it already looks like he's in a tundra.
Yeah. Penguins
Just make him small in the distance.
Yeah.
Fine.
But you need to take a screenshot of yourself, the way you are right now, with your bed and the waves and the darkness and your hat all the way up, and be like, I'm
I
in the
will.
tundra. And put it
I'm
on.
in the tundra.
Lady.
He's like, I'm in the tundra.
He's like the Arctic pimp or something like that.
Do you want it in black and white or what?
Yeah, you'll have a little hat on, little pimp hat, Arctic pimp.
The Arctic Pimp. On that note of things, guys, we are going to see you again at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesdays, right here, and we shall see you guys next week. Have a good day.
See you.